Sam Wright sore from it.
You can see Wright head on deck and
could do real damage to his shoulder. He looks like he's okay, but he was sore for a while there, Sam Wright.
I guess the weekly weight sessions, it's different for everybody. Someone like myself managed shoulder injuries obviously through my career, so it's a lot of IP work, injury prevention and trying to strengthen that shoulder so that firstly I can do weights and then it'll translate out on the field. I've had 2 shoulder reconstructions a year and a half apart, so never really got good after the first one, and then having to go in again. There's a lot of management there, but DME has been really good for me.
Some of his strength work's a little bit different to the other guys. He does a lot of extra shoulder cuff and a lot of extra exercises to try and stabilise the shoulder joint a little bit more than what the other guys would. Working on size and strength's a big one for him, so that he's big enough to actually take some of the contact without causing another shoulder injury.
I've had cuff problems, so boring stuff, it takes a long time, but I've got to do that, otherwise if I do a weight session I won't be able to lift my arm when I'm out training, so I've got to do that before every weight.
For some of those bigger guys, it's a little bit more about increasing their absolute strength, which is the maximum amount of weight that they can lift. So it doesn't matter if they're actually a little bit bigger bodied and carrying more mass, that they're able to produce as much force as possible. Whereas someone like Sammy that needs to be able to run a little bit more, it's about his relative strength, so the amount of strength relative to how much weight he carries. So it changes a little bit of the way you go about things in the gym, that you're trying to develop as much strength as possible without getting too big. In Sammy's case, there's still a little bit more need for some extra muscle mass.
The weights definitely help out on the field, although you might see it in me. The last few years I've gained a bit of strength, and it sort of, for me, it helps me keep my feet, and I feel like it's also helped me to hang on to a few grabs, trying to intercept the ball more, so without that body contact, I'm holding him now rather than letting him spill.
So having a little bit more muscle mass around the shoulder joint actually helps with absorbing some of the impact from those knocks. It's been a little bit slower in Sam than some of the other guys, just because of the nature of those injuries. So he really didn't get a clear run at an off season for quite a few years, because he had a couple of shoulder injuries. So it's probably just this last 2 years he's actually had a good off season where he's been able to attack his weights a little bit better, and we've seen a lot more improvement in that time.
I think the game's changed a lot, in 10 years or so, when it was all about getting big. It's more aerobic based now.
Especially this year, as we go down to a cap of 90 rotations, the game becomes a little bit more aerobic again. So it's really important that the guys aren't carrying any more weight than they need to be, so they're still as strong and as big as possible without that having a negative impact on their ability to run the game out.
Last year too, I got a good run at it, so I set myself up last year, but this year hopefully get to that new level. And it's my second pre-season without any shoulder surgery, so I'm looking forward to it.